Welcome back to our final round, and it is a rematch of our Round 5 Swiss matchup between Benjamin Harlan and Michael Wagner. We got a very exciting one here. Dennis Geisler, Ryan Wayne here with you for our League Challenge final at Psycho Turtle. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks with a cup. If you want to get into that cup, you want to sign up now. It is going to sell out. There's going to be like 48 people here. It's going to be super exciting.
And epic. All right. But
it's going to be super epic.
To whet our appetites, we have on Benjamin, as we saw, we have the Regidrago, Zazashi, and Tornadus, Ogrepon, Hearthflame, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and the Farigiraf. And on Michael's team, we have the Amoonguss, Chi-Yu, Jianpao, Ditto, the Fluttermane, and the Zamazenta. I know going into this, Benji was talking about he's very worried about that Ditto.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Ditto kind of... the Ditto didn't... So, in their previous matchup in round number 5, Ditto did not come to game number 1. It came to game 2, copied the Tornadus, got the Tailwind up matching. It came to game number 3, copied the Urshifu, and took out the Tornadus almost immediately, which both of those last 2 games Michael won. Yeah. And the question now is, where is Michael going to place this Ditto, and how is he going to try to play around that? Because that is the big thing with this Ditto. And again, he's so good at playing this Ditto, Michael is.
Oh, 100%.
Matching up against whatever is the best thing to get, or even just getting anything and saying, here's the best value I can get out of this. It's going to be Zamazenta and Ditto in that order this time.
Copy?
It's going to get the Urshifu again.
Nice.
So this is the same as game number 3 in our previous set. In that one, Urshifu went for a Surging Strikes and an Aqua Jet into the Tornadus, which took it out in 2 turns.
Okay. Yeah, this is a big... especially when you're rematching someone within the same day, it's like, all right, because this is essentially, you know, round 4, round 7, depending on how many times they faced each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're trying to figure out what you can do better because Benjamin lost that one, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of pressure on him right now, but he's very, very skilled, so if anyone can pull it off, it is him.
Absolutely, and I mean, Michael at the same time is also very good at playing around this, and I mean, especially this regulation, he's been absolutely on fire, and see how he plays against this. Every single game in that last set, also, he immediately terrestrialized his Zamazenta to that Dragon typing, so I'm not surprised to see it again here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a little scary against the Zacian and the Regidrago, but it's kind of necessary against the Urshifu early on. We're going to get the Tailwind from the Tornadus. Right, and the Urshifu does go for the Surging Strikes into that Ditto, but it's not really going to do anything. And this is banded Surging Strikes from Benjamin, and it'll get it down a little under half, but the thing is, the Surging Strikes, presumably from the Ditto into the... Ooh! We're going to get the Body Press against the Tornadus, and the Surging Strikes doubling up on it should knock it out.
Yeah, that's definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
And there goes that Tornadus.
Typically in that last set, the Zamazenta would go for a Body Press into the Urshifu, so just getting rid of the Tornadus is an interesting adaptation, but certainly worked there.
Yes, it is. And to kind of follow up on... I guess the thing is, it's like, you still want the... I don't think it's a bad thing to Terra your Zamazenta in the sense of, like, alright, that makes it an easier target, so maybe while they're not worrying about what it's next to, that's always a fun strategy you can always implement.
Yeah. Not
saying like Zamazenta is just, you know, bait for attacks or anything like that, but it is something...
Well, and I guess and the concern here is now, okay, what do I do? My Ditto's probably going to drop to another Banded Surging Strikes, because he knows that range is there, and Zacian is going to do a big play rough into my Zamazenta probably. Can I take that hit? Is that something that's plausible? What do I do back to it? Maybe a Behemoth Bash? Does that do enough damage?
Yeah.
We'll see here. It's going to be the Terra onto the Zacian, which makes sense. Take away this Steel typing that doesn't really do a whole lot for you right now, and boost up the damage of that play rough, always good.
Yeah, I think obviously you go for that. I think that's the right call right here is to go. The Protect makes a lot of sense because if for whatever reason the Surging Strikes did go in there, it's not going to be too much damage. Okay, getting a little chip there. play.
I guess no reason not to. If you think you know what the other person's going to do, this is about the best damage that you're going to get down this turn. I mean, without letting Zamazenta take the play rough, this is about the best damage you're going to do this turn.
Yeah.
Because Ditto is going to drop, so Aqua Jet into the Zacian and just get a tiny little chunk of damage there.
So do you think we're going to see the Chi-Yu, or do you think we're going to see the Flutter Mane?
I am not really sure. I'd imagine probably, the Flutter Mane, I would imagine. I think the Flutter Mane will still... Because even though it's under Tailwind, and this is the question now, is like +1 Flutter Mane with the booster energy, what is that compared to whatever of these Pokemon under Tailwind?
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. It's going to be kind of close.
Really?
And the Protect isn't really going to do a whole lot into this, so that's part of it. But
yeah. I mean, I think it's just simple. You just go Surging Strikes into there, because what it really is Michael's going to do there. So...
And the Urshifu does go first, and Flutter Mane is absolutely going to get dropped by that.
Yeah.
And if the Zamazenta didn't kind of feel out what was going to happen here, then it's going to be pretty bad for Michael.
All right. But if it body presses, will it go in? No, it went for the dash.
That's going to be real tough for Michael to get out of this one.
Yeah. I mean... Alright, if we look at this Chi-Yu,
it's Scarf.
Claim over.
Yeah.
Dark Pulse.
I mean, the problem is even Scarf is still presumably slower than these Pokemon in Tailwind, and you just get dumped by Surging Strikes again.
Yeah.
So Benjamin can kind of just keep clicking the same buttons and make it work.
Do you think Michael was... Because the Ditto, obviously, we were talking about that. It's like, do you think he was trying to hope to get something else, or...
I mean, it's interesting because he made it work with Tornadus and he made it work with Urshifu in the last set.
Yeah.
And I think this time getting rid of the Tornadus, he might have gotten rid of the Tornadus too quickly, honestly, because leaving Tornadus around for another turn, because he was basically able to get rid of, there's the Behemoth Bash, getting that out of the way, and honestly, ooh, the critical hit. I'm not sure if that mattered, but that was pretty big, and I mean, we'll step back for a minute here. Urshifu can't really do anything to Zamazenta.
No.
So it's very much whether Zamazenta can get rid of Regidrago, and it probably can.
Yeah, I would say...
Yeah, we know it can't Terra anymore, so it's just a question of, oh wait, Zamazenta's on like almost no HP. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so...
I think Urshifu can do that much damage with Surging Strikes.
Alright, so boom.
Yeah, it can do that much damage with Surging Strikes. It can't do much with Surging Strikes, but it can do at least that much. So we'll pick up... Benjamin will pick up the victory on game number 1. And yeah, I think... Because in that third game of the previous set, Michael did a chunk to Tornadus and a chunk to Urshifu, and by doing that was able to get Tornadus into Aqua Jet range while also taking out the Urshifu in 2 hits. And I think that was the issue this time, is that the Urshifu was still around, and so you couldn't just click Protect with Flutter Mane and stall out turns of Tailwind. And I think getting rid of the Urshifu probably has to be a bigger priority for Michael than he made it in this game number 1, the finals game number 1.
I agree. Yeah, because, like, I think that was the thing, he had to take care of it then, or not at all, because, you know, like, when your 2 Pokemon in the back are, like, weak against it, and, like, if you commit your Terra already, you can't Terra Grass into the Flutter Mane. So it's like, well, no matter what you go into, it's going to be KO'd by the Urshifu, so I think Michael's going to definitely think about that, because I feel like what's preventing Benjamin from just doing the same thing again?
Yeah, and I'm curious if Michael at any point will decide to lead Zamazenta and not immediately terrestrialize it, or even not lead Zamazenta, because I don't think that's happened in either of their matchups so far, or in any of the 4 games so far.
Yeah. I think that now would be the time to do it, just in the sense of, like, if Benjamin is dead set on that being the case, that's a good way to switch it up and he's not prepared.
Well, and I also wonder if Benjamin focuses too much on the early game mind games of it and potentially misses out on something Michael changes up completely. which is also a possibility. I mean, Michael brought Amoonguss and Chen Pao in their first matchup in the first set, and completely switched up and went towards Fluttermane and Ditto in the second and third games. And I wonder if he's going to stick with those 4 or go back to the original 4 or what. Don't know.
All right, we're about to find out in this game 2. All right, we are going to see the Zamazenta and the Ditto. Same
we'll
spots.
see. I think that, my Benjamin is excited. He got the read once again.
Nice. All right, so...
Although at the same time, again, Michael did win a game with this setup before.
That he did. You know...
So I think you do potentially... Ooh, he just switches out the Ditto. That's interesting.
Is it the Amoonguss?
I think it is the Amoonguss.
I think that was pretty smart.
Yeah. And unfortunately for him, it is not the Tailwind coming out of the... Or, excuse me, it is not... It is the Tailwind right there. It is not the Surging Strikes going into the Amoonguss. It is just the Close Combat. So it will take a bit of damage back. It might actually drop to a Body Press right now.
Yeah, I think
it probably does.
It should. Body Press, boom.
At the -1,
yeah. Because I feel like that was safe switching no matter what, because either it goes down to Surging Strikes, brings it down to half, or if it goes for Close Combat, boom. And
let us both note that Zamazenta did not terastalize there.
It did not. So
it still hasn't burned its Terra yet.
Just looking at the rest of its team, it's actually pretty good because it either does... There's no super effectiveness going into it. So I think you can just reserve that Terra for whatever you want at the end. Whether it's that Ditto or that Fluttermane.
Yeah. Well, and now it's the question of what does Zamazenta want to try to accomplish here. Protecting, I guess. Ooh, double protect. Just going to stall out a turn of Tailwind. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And get to see what these two want to do. It was Taunt into the Amoonguss and a Regidrago. I think going for a Dragon Energy. Yep.
Yeah.
Which Dragon Energy is not going to do a ton of damage against Zamazenta. It probably... I'd imagine it's got to take out the Amoonguss, but it's going to be close.
I agree. So, I think right now, like, everything looks a little promising for Michael in this game, too, but, you know, like, there is always the threat of the Ditto coming back.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the best one to get that in is probably Tornadus if you do, but I don't think you... I think that's a switch in you want in fresh, not necessarily, especially with Dragon Energy going through.
Yeah, and I think the big problem here is that Zamazenta's not really threatening a ton of damage. Amoonguss is going to switch out again.
Flutter.
Possibly, yeah, either the Flutter... Yeah, it's going to be the Flutter, which, nice little move. It's going to be immune to the Dragon Energy.
Yeah. I did see Benjamin think about using the Terra Ghost and going to there, but alas...
Now, Flutter is taunted, so Flutter's not going to be able to protect next turn to stall out the last turn of Tailwind. Dragon Energy, we'll see how much this does to Zamazenta. It's honestly pretty decent damage, but not, like, ridiculous.
Alright, well, Body Crest will go into Tornadus, brings it a little over half.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
So Fluttermane's taunted now, but, I mean... Does Terra Ghost Terra Blast do that much to Fluttermane? Is one question. I mean, it will obviously... Fluttermane is full HP. It is specially reasonably bulky. It is not specially frail in the same way that it's physically frail.
Well, I think right now... Alright, because, like, if it Terras, you know, it's going to have weakness. It's like, I think it's safe to double up. I think whether or not Michael goes for the wide guard here is...
And that's true as well, where the wide guard can at least block the Bleak Wind.
Yeah.
And...
Alright, so... Oh, it does not go for the Terra.
But it missed... Oh, it missed the Fluttermane, though. That's pretty big.
Good, yeah. Alright, so...
We'll see now if the Fluttermane... Oh, it just clicks Icy Wind. Oh, but it misses Regidrago, and that's the one that it needed to hit.
Very much
Tornadus
so.
has the Covert Cloak.
Alright, Terra Blast is going to go into this Fluttermane.
But is it actually going to KO? And I think this is the last turn of Tailwind, although Tornadus is still standing.
It survives!
It does take the hit.
It is in the red. Now, what did this Sama go into?
Sama,
that?
yeah, Sama can take out the Tornadus. Okay.
Perfect.
That's a fine spot for Michael to be in. Because now, no more Tailwind. Fluttermane's the fastest thing in the field.
Yeah.
It's just the other 2 Pokemon remaining. It's still not an ideal spot to be in, but also it means that you kind of know where you need to or where you can bring in your Ditto to copy whichever one of these 2 that you want, probably the Zacian.
Yeah, I mean...
I doubt that you want to copy the Regidrago and then not have a way to hit the Zacian.
No, but, you know, there is life in this game for Michael. Just how it goes about this final couple minutes.
And Michael also has Terra still available if that's another switch up.
That he does.
Zamazenta will protect. It could also be a double protect from the Flutter and the Zamazenta.
It's taunted.
Ooh, yeah, it's still taunted, so it's just going to go for the Icy Wind and slow these Pokemon down again.
Ooh, a crits on the Zash.
Huge 15 damage crit on Zacian.
In another universe, this Zacian lives on 1 HP, and then...
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could still happen later on in this battle. I guess we shouldn't judge too early.
Yeah.
Terra Blast is going to take out the Fluttermane.
This is actually very good for the Ditto, in the sense, like, now that the speeds are lowered on both of them, it can do more damage, and it will be the fastest.
Yeah, the Ditto will absolutely be faster than both of them. But the Ditto can't really come in here. It's got to be the Amoonguss, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Amoonguss.
Because the Ditto has to come in on the Zacian slot.
Yeah. Now...
Although, even aside from that, can Zamazenta just deal with a lot of this by itself? It's faster.
It definitely is.
I mean, if you can get rid of the... if you can do a bunch of damage to the Regidrago, or even a bunch of damage to the Zacian, like, you can feel pretty good about the spot that you're in. And, I mean, Amoonguss isn't being threatened with a ton of damage right now. I mean, Draco Meteor would do a lot to it, but...
True. I feel Draco Meteor's a little tough this late in the game, or, like, not late in the
just
game.
to protect.
Because, you know, you have nothing to switch out into, so, like, that's lowered for the rest of the game. Evolution Behemoth Bash takes it down to 30%. Play rough.
Wow, Zamazenta takes the play rough barely.
Hair. But very good for Michael, though.
I just hear Josh saying, I love that dog. Me too, man.
It is definitely getting a treat after the battle.
So absolutely. If Michael's able to pull this one out and bring it to a game 3, but I mean the other dog on Benjamin's side is going to try to prevent that. And,
yeah, I think.
I mean, at this point, you kind of just have to. It's so difficult because
you have to get the Rage Powder in to get those moves going in that direction, and then
I mean, I think you want to keep you want to let the Zamazenta drop, honestly. I think if you're it's very counterintuitive in that Benjamin wants Ditto to come in on the Amoonguss slot. Benjamin wants Amoonguss to drop first.
I think my thing is I want, like, making sure that Zacian is low enough so that, you can be sure to take it out in one hit.
Yeah.
Alright,
although this will also be a score, and so this is probably going to be over regardless, because it's just going to be like a body press.
Headcanon, the crit matter. We're not going to see it on...
we definitely won't see it come up.
Game 3.
We will absolutely see a game number 3. And I mean, that was another interesting case where the Ditto came in at the beginning of the battle, didn't really accomplish anything, but I mean, anything that Urshifu did into the Amoonguss would have resulted in it being knocked out by Body Press, unless it was like U-turn, which is possibly an adaptation for Benjamin in the next game, is U-turn, and let something else eat the Body Press damage, although that's not ideal with the Pokemon that you have. Like, Zacian doesn't want to eat a Body Press, Regidrago doesn't want to eat a Body Press unless it's Terrestrialize, and Tornadus is probably already there, so...
Yeah.
Again, we're kind of in that turn 1 mind game setting again, and it's just a question of, can Michael get rid of the...
Oh?
See if this switches up a little bit. Well, it's a big issue of whether Michael can get rid of the Urshifu, is the big question. Again, this is game 6 between these two.
Very much so.
Michael already won one set, and if Michael can win this next one, then he'll win this challenge.
You're starting to. You do see Benjamin. I know he's like off screen right now, but he is talking with himself, kind of rationalize, figure this out. you know.
Yeah, and I could see either way on bringing Regidrago or not bringing Regidrago, because if Fluttermane's going to be there anyways, you might as well just not bring Regidrago, because it's such a weird matchup to play against.
I agree. Alright, so here we are, Game 3 in the finals. Let's go. Michael versus Benjamin. And we are going to see come out right here the Ditto and the Zamazenta once more. Ooh, but things are...
Got the Urshifu again. 3 games in a row, Benjamin gets the Ditto into the Urshifu.
Very good.
Although, obviously, those games went 1-1 so far, so we don't know if that's necessarily what what Michael was looking for.
You know, I'm a positive person. I say that's what he was planning.
Yeah, that's what he was planning. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be positive in the other direction and say that's what Benjamin wanted.
Yeah.
And just played really well against him. So, I don't know. It's a question of where things go from here. No switch outs. Tornadus will click the Tailwind. No Terrastal. So Surging Strikes into the Zamazenta is going to do a bit more damage. Not a ton of damage, but it's going to get it to around half.
Yeah. And I did notice in the back, we do not see the Amoonguss, which I think helped out so much last game. Alright, so we are going to see the Surging Strikes go into there.
Yeah, we'll see the Surging Strikes into the Tornadus and the Body Press into the Urshifu, which looks a lot closer to game number 3 of the previous set, but noticeably, the Urshifu already did a Surging Strikes into the non-terrastalized Zamazenta, so Zamazenta either has to Terra to maintain a tiny bit of HP remaining, or it's going to drop and the Urshifu is going to stick around. Or alternatively, Michael has to do something different with his Urshifu, because the only way that really works is if you go for the Aqua Jet into the Tornadus slot, which maybe the Tornadus just switches out, and which the Aqua Jet doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. So
still a lot to read around here.
Yeah, because looks like the Urshifu is still going to commit. Now, does the Zamazenta Terra here?
Yeah.
That's a big question.
Ogrepon's coming in, so a Surging Strikes into the Ogrepon slot would be big for Michael.
Yeah. Alright, so...
And that is a Terra, yeah. you see it pause for just a moment, and you're like, alright, yeah, that's going to be the Terra. And that makes sense. Urshifu's not going to be able to get rid of Zamazenta now.
Yeah.
And that means that Zamazenta is going to be able to get rid of Urshifu.
Yeah, get that body press off.
And then it will be able to protect stall out turns of, oh, that is not what I anticipated there.
Neither did I. Alright,
Ditto with the Aqua Jet into the Ogrepon, that's not going to do very much damage. And the Surging Strikes against the Zamazenta, I mean, it's not going to do a lot of damage, but... I mean, the damage piles up.
It's going to KO in the next one.
Yeah, the next one probably does KO. And now you have to say, okay, what do I do here?
Well, yeah, and I think
that was a difficult call, though. Oh, man, that's tough. That's really tough.
I think what makes it tough, too, is he switched out the Tornadus, so, like, in a previous game, you just waited out for Tailwind to expire. Now... You have to kind of accelerate it so that way the Tornadus comes out like one turn.
Yeah, you got to get the Tailwind in again and knock it out.
Yeah, so it's a little uphill for Michael right now.
It's very uphill for Michael, especially knowing that Zamazenta is in such a bad spot right now.
The right move going for the tear. I wonder why he did Protect.
The Protect was a weird choice. The Ditto's going to switch out here. Maybe Chiyu coming in. I don't dislike that move because it's something that'll take anything that Ogrepon tries to do.
Wood Hammer.
Such as the Wood Hammer. It still takes a decent amount of damage, but not, like, very much.
Alright,
and the Surging Strikes. Can Zama possibly take this? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know about that.
If you live.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No treats for Zama.
No treats for Zama. The Ditto can come in here and copy the Follow Me Ogrepon.
They could do that.
Which could be pretty helpful.
It would do okay damage with one of the Surging Strikes, so... Yeah.
And I think
it's always tricky with the
Follow
HP.
Me and then just getting Chiyu to hit stuff is probably ideal.
Yeah.
Like Chiyu Heat Wave and then hope that you knock out both these Pokemon, although at Terrastalized Ogrepon you don't.
I think with Michael right now it's like, do you risk the Heat Wave misses can always plague person's mind right before they
Yeah.
make that move.
Yeah, and at the same time, I don't know if there's another way out of this.
100%. So we are going to see the
Especially, I mean, I don't even know if this will work because this Ogerpon might just knock out the other Ogerpon, the Ditto
looks
Ogerpon.
like it, yeah.
Yeah, there's the follow me.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, a lot of boosts obviously for this Ogerpon, but it is still a neutral hit against a reasonably bulky Pokemon.
Below half.
It should, but if it takes the hit, it
Oh.
doesn't take the hit.
And
Is it
that
a crit?
indeed-
No crit?
No.
Benjamin seems shocked. Ditto does have the reduced HP, and that should finish this one off, because
Yeah.
Surging Strikes is now able to hit into the Chi-Yu. If it didn't, might have been able to take out the Urshifu, pause out a couple of turns with the Protect on the Flutter Mane, try to play that out, but the way it is now, Tailwind's down, but it's just the Flutter Mane remaining, and that'll mean... In a moment. We'll wait for it to become official, but
The downside for Michael here is he has 4 Pokemon. Benjamin has 4 Pokemon left. He has something that is super effective into that Flutter Mane.
and also a bunch of physical moves that hit Flutter Mane really hard.
Yeah. I think playing it out, going down swinging, but
Yeah.
what is it?
I
Is
mean,
it
you
a
can do whatever you want,
Blast?
but
Yeah.
Moonblast gonna hit, and Surging Strikes coming through in a minute. Hold on.
Alright.
With the Surging Strikes, 1,
2.
2,
Urshifu just wants to get that screen time in.
and there we go. Benjamin Harlan is your Gym Challenge League Challenge champion.
Congratulations, Benjamin. Well earned.
Absolutely well earned. I mean, it is hard. He mentioned it is hard to play the same person 6 times in one day, especially someone as good as Michael, and eventually come out on top in the finals round.
Especially because Michael has been kind of on a hot streak these days. And
Absolutely.
also the fact that you lost to them earlier in the day, those kind of things, those things can like eat at you a little bit. And it's like, all right, well, how am I going to play differently? And you're stressing a little more than Michael is.
Yeah,
to play all the
especially in
mind games.
such a mind-gamey series.
Yes.
Like, it's tough to play around something like that, but credit to Benjamin. He absolutely made it work, and he's coming away as the champion.
Very well done. Getting those championship points.
Absolutely. And speaking of championship points, if you're still looking for points at cups, here in 2 weeks, we've got a cup. You want to sign up as soon as possible. You can go to PokemonLabs.com for more details. And come out here anyways and have fun. It's always a real fun time. I think at least tentative dates for all of the rest of the season are up, so definitely come out to one of these. Always a good time, and yeah.
100%.
With that, we are going to sign out for the day. Thanks, as always, to Troy for producing and Miguel and Taryn for running the tournaments. And we will see you all next time.
Peace.